They don't make them like they used to. You try to tell any new age parent in today's world that you're dropping 8 kids off and leaving them at their house for a week during the school holidays, and you'll be met with mocking laughter and some choice words. But for Nonna, it was heaven. And for us cousins, it was one of the most exciting parts of our upbringing. And back in the day, there were no iPhones, there were no iPads, no portable computers. I don't even think Donkey Kong was invented yet, but somehow Nonna kept us all entertained, kept us all together, and most importantly, kept us all smiling. There are so many stories I could tell you, from Nonna filling up several 500-gallon drums of water so that we could use them as makeshift swimming pools, to hot yet enjoyable days of bringing the whole family together and making enough tomato sauce to last you into the next millennium. But there is one story I will never forget. It's my favourite, and all the cousins still talk about it today. And we have Nonna to thank for the laughter and enjoyment that we still get from this story. As mentioned, Nonna used to look after 8 of us each holidays. 5 boys: Chris, David, Michael, Mauro and myself, and 3 girls, Jana, Anna and Trisha. Sleeping arrangements were always the same. At the top end of a dimly lit hallway, the boys' room, boasting 5 stained foam mattresses sprawled out inconsistently on the floor with military standard issue bed sheeting that were never quite long enough. And in a room with no view, no light, and more concerningly, no aeration. At the bottom end of the hallway, the girls' room, a plush royale king-size bed with fluffy pillows, silk sheeting, and amazing views overlooking the very busy main road, and of course later the train station. Okay, maybe the views weren't so great. In the middle of the hallway was Nonna's room, whose door was always kept open. Each night was as fun as the next. When we were sure Nonna was asleep, we would try to communicate with the girls at the other end of the hallway. One night, we blew up a large beach ball and rolled it past Nonna's bedroom door down to the girls' room. The girls would then roll it back to us. But the real fun came when some poor soul didn't quite roll that ball far enough. They would have to sneak up towards Nonna's open door, grab the ball to keep the game alive. Each step towards Nonna's door akin to walking through a minefield, waiting for the explosion, waiting for the sound of creaky bed springs as she rose up to dish out what we all so rightly deserved. And at that time of the night, there wasn't Tanya Taylor. So as you can imagine, this game went on for some time, and I'm sure she was awake the whole time, smiling to herself in bed. But at 2 AM, after minding 8 kids all day, it was all too much for her, and she leapt out of bed like a ninja. We all scattered like cockroaches back to bed, foolishly thinking we could pretend to be asleep and pull one over the old girl. But Nonna had other plans. She dished out 5 fresh serves to the boys, ensuring each backside chick received an even spread of hand coverage, and marched towards the girls' room. The boys quickly got up to watch the carnage in the girls' room, and I'm so glad we did. Nonna walked in, flicked on the light, and we all saw Jana and Anna with their eyes closed, trying bravely not to smile. Trisha had her eyes closed, and she was actually sound asleep. Nonna fired one on Jana's backside, and then Anna's, then took one look at Trisha and hesitated. She walked right up to her face to try to trick her into a smile, but Trisha didn't flinch. Jana, sensing the moment, and knowing Trisha was actually asleep the whole time, did the honourable thing. And in the spirit of the holidays, the spirit of togetherness, the spirit of experiencing every moment as a group, she said, "No, Trisha put it." And that was all the confirmation Nonna needed. She fed Trisha a double backhander with extra cheese, and we all rolled around in laughter, including Nonna, after she realised Trisha was in fact asleep. It was a brilliant moment, and one that I'm never likely to forget. Thanks, Nonna, you did more for us than any Nonna should. I know you didn't speak English very well, and I certainly didn't speak Italian very well, but with you, we didn't need language at all. Your love for your family was evident, and much more than words could ever have said, and you'll never be forgotten.
I think that deserves.
A message from the young grandchildren, Louisa, Mark, Matthew and Luke. If there's one lesson that we'd all learned from staying at Nonna's over the holidays, it was to not ever mess up her true pride and joy, her immaculately kept home. There would be many a time where we'd get dropped off early in the mornings, and Nonna would be dancing around to her favourite music, while mopping the thick woolly carpet. How and why she did this, no one will ever really know. All we knew was that if we stepped out of line, it would be another broken English lecture for the next 15 minutes. She would forget that the four of us barely understood Italian, let alone Sicilian. Every time we got the idea to roll the soccer ball down the hallway, she would remind us how the lights in her chandelier had been broken, all due to the mischief caused by our older cousins. On days like those, she sent us all outside. To our amusement, she had 2 adult-sized drums full of recycled water. Our aim, to use her old paintbrushes, broom heads, mops, and whatever else we could find with bristles, to supposedly paint the walls with water. She knew that there was no end to that game, as the water would always dry, and Nonna could then happily go inside and watch the latest episode of The Days of Our Lives. It was the simple things that kept us entertained and honest, but it's the simple things like this that we will always look back upon and laugh at. A note from my sister Jana, who can't be with us here today. Dear Nonna, I wish I could have said goodbye. I would have liked to have seen you smile one last time. Thank you for the time and years you spent teaching and showing me how to be a good person, a mother, a friend, and so much more. But above all, thank you for guiding me and demonstrating the importance of faith. Happy are you today to be one with God. Ti amo adesso